Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the grand finals of Dreamhack Summer 2013. I am B-Ballin, and this is game 3 of a best-of-3 series between Quantic and Alliance. It's all come down to this. The two strongest teams in the tournament have finally met an even match, as Alliance managed to take game 1 in a decisive fashion. Meanwhile, Quantic just completely stomped the heck out of Alliance in game 2, just using the Treant and Weaver combination to its fullest. But Alliance, this time they have the first pick, and we're going to see how Quantic responds, as usually the standard bans are Wisp and Barrett for the second team. But we're going to have to see what Quantic decides to do in this game, as they probably want to get themselves Tree again since it worked out so well. But yeah, this is the last match of the Dreamhack Summer Playoffs. Man, it's been a long time coming, but I've finally been able to get through so many matches. I think I've cast well over 20 matches in quite a short amount of time. And hopefully you've enjoyed the ride, but finally I'll be able to cast some more recent matches from the raid called D2L, and maybe even do some Dota 1 stuff, which I'm looking forward to doing. But back to the picks and bans. Alliance is going to get rid of OD as well as Tree and Protector. Meanwhile, Quantic, they have a choice. They have to ban out Wisp for Barrett here, otherwise Alliance will get their hands on them, or Quantic could potentially leave both in the pool and try to get themselves at least one, and I think that is the route that Quantic will likely take in this game. So maybe they'll try to shut down Bulldog's options in the offlane once again by getting rid of the Nature's Prophet, but leaving Wisp as well as Barrett in the pool, I think the team with the first pick, if both heroes are left in the pool, will always choose a Wisp, and ETM's Wisp is very, very annoying to deal with. As Alliance is going to have to decide Wisp or Barrett here, but I think Alliance will go for the Wisp, as Wisp is more feared by the Western scene in general, and now the fear has transferred over to the Eastern scene, as once you get an advantage with the Wisp, it's so difficult for a team to come back because he severely limits your movement since your team is forced to group of his 5 constantly in order to not be relocated, ganked upon. He buffs up your carry to such a tremendous degree, and Wisp just wreaks havoc on opposing teams once he manages to get an advantage, and if you don't get an advantage, Wisp can still find ways to come back since he helps buff up your carry's farming potential by such a great degree. I mean, he's like a mini Spectre. He can always get your carry into a team fight whenever he wants. So, Alliance probably debating which hero they want to get. Barrett is also a solid option, definitely one of the most powerful initiators in the game, and S4 has played a really solid Barrett in the past, but I have yet to see Alliance play Wisp in this tournament. He's just been constantly banned, but Wisp will be opening choice from Alliance. I have the Wisp, as Quantic going to immediately spawn with Batrider, and we're going to see how they pair this Batrider choice. Will Alliance pick up the Chaos Knight? I don't know if Alliance are huge fans of the Wisp Chaos Knight pairing, but it's definitely in the back of their minds. That's probably one of the main reasons why they were taking so long. Will we pair the Chaos Knight with the Wisp in this game? I mean, Alliance, they have such a wide variety of carries. I mean, Wisp PA is definitely a strong combination because PA can blink in, even though she might not have enough damage compared to Chaos Knight. Is not really as tanky compared to Chaos Knight either. But I gotta think Alliance will try to secure themselves Chaos Knight, and Quantic gonna have to let it go through since, I mean, what will Chaos Knight do in their lineup? Chaos Knight himself really likes having the Wisp because he is not a good farmer and he really wants to kill people, but Wisp is pretty much the only hero that gives him the capability to kill over and over again with the mana regeneration that Wisp grants you, as well as extra mobility and extra survivability and extra gank potential that I don't think Quantic will look to get the Chaos Knight themselves unless they really just want to deny it from Alliance entirely. Quantic instead going to respond with the Gyrocopter choice, so trying to get a bit of a safer carry. I'm not sure if I like this if Alliance do go for the Chaos Knight. Gyrocopter could be in a huge amount of trouble. But instead, Alliance is going to focus on going the global route and look for Quantic to immediately ban out the Chaos Knight, and maybe even ban out the Sven or Tiny as well. But Alliance is going to get themselves a Bulldog hero, as well as having a stronger global presence on the map. Nature's Prophet can always teleport in, help to secure a gank, and just make split pushing a lot easier for the side of Alliance. So I like this choice a lot. And, I mean, Alliance, they're definitely a team that can function very well without relying on the Chaos Knight Wisp combination. Their Wisp, in general, is very, very scary to deal with. Meanwhile, Bane will be the ban by Alliance as Quantic immediately banned out the Chaos Knight. So, Alliance trying to restrict those heroes that can control the Wisp, control the carry that he's sort of motoring around as Quantic gonna get rid of the Sven as well, recognizing that Sven Wisp is also very, very strong. And meanwhile, Quantic, they have their mid or offlane hero. Alliance have yet to pick up their mid lane hero. They could potentially do a dual lane mid, but I think they're going to most likely Defensitron with the Wisp. And one of the ways to try to deal with Wisp is try to shut him down the early phase, because if you get an advantage on Wisp, his effectiveness does become greatly mitigated. But that's still a big if, because Defensitrons in general are a bit easier to execute since you have the pulse to fall back on, and you have a tower to fall back on as well. And Quantic, I mean, Gyrocopter by himself can't really set up an Aggressotron all too well. You need something like Shadow Demon and maybe a Coddle, but Coddle was banned by Quantic, and I'm not too sure what supports Gyrocopter he paired with an Aggressotron that could really make the greatest usage of his burst damage. So I think this Gyrocopter might be forced into a Defensitron situation, and not challenging a Wisp in an Aggressotron is definitely going to be a bad start for Quantic if they decide to go that route. But still, only 2 picks have gone through. Alliance going to get rid of the Lifestealer, so going to get rid of the Infest Bomb that Barada could potentially drop on their faces. And Lifestealer is one of those heroes who can escape with ganks by just popping the Rage. And I think that's the main reason why Alliance got rid of the Lifestealer in this game. Quantic, we're going to see how they respond. Will they put Barada in the mid lane once again? Barada, played by Funzy, was solidly played. It managed to beat S-Force TA, even though TA is disadvantaged in that matchup. Funzy still managed to win the lane very decisively, showing why it's a disadvantageous matchup in general. And Quantic, I'm not too sure what they're going to do so far in the lanes. I mean, it's really hard to call with only 2 picks being chosen at this point. But Alliance, they have a bit more versatility. They have some gold presence to fall back on. They also have some split pushing presence. And Wisp, they have some very strong mid-game factors on their side. So Quantic gonna have to hold their fort. They're gonna choose the Undying. The first time I've seen Undying this entire tournament, as he is gonna be the signal that Quantic are indeed gonna go with an Aggressotron. I think this is the right choice for Quantic, but if Undying doesn't get off to a good start, he's gonna have a very minimal impact because Nature Swap can kill off the Tombstone very easily with the Treants. And Undying, I mean, he is a very strong lane controller, but is he going to be enough against the likes of Wisp, who's so mobile? And Undying himself does not contribute any slows to a laning situation outside the slight slow that Tombstone gives you in the early levels. Alliance going with a heavy mobility draft, going to secure themselves a puck. I like this choice quite a bit because now they have a solid initiator. They have some person to restrict the movement of Quantic while Wisp and whoever carries buffing up teleports in and just rains havoc on the side of Quantic. And also they have a very versatile hero who can just go for ganks, can go for kills, can set up team fights, and overall does do a solid job in the middle lane. So I think this choice was the best option for Alliance in this choice, even better than Queen of Pain, since again, he does hold people in place while Wisp and the carry that Wisp is buffing up does just teleport in and just wreak havoc on the opposing team. Quantic, are they going to go with another Aggressotron pickup? I mean, what do they have left? They need some person that can slow people down. I think they have to go with something like a Shadow Demon and just wait for level 2 before they can actually go for a kill with the missile and barrage coming in from Undying. So we're just waiting to see what Quantic decides to go with. Otherwise, if they don't get the Shadow Demon here, I'm pretty sure Alliance will decide to remove it from the pool entirely. But Golblack, obviously 10,000 smarter, or 10,000 smarter than I'll be in regards to Dota. Probably debating what he wants to do with his last choice, and he's running through a lot of his reserve time. Keep in mind the pick phases don't really have as much time. They're gonna get themselves a Shadow Demon. I think this was the best option. It's gonna be a bit annoying though, because outside Disruption they don't really have anyone to control people. I mean, they don't have any slows outside the missile. They're going to really have to get level 2 before they can actually do a lot of damage. I'm going to try to rush the fast boot speed on Gyrocopter. Still, Wisp grants his allies so much extra mobility that it's just not going to be a pretty situation for the side of Quantic if they don't manage to get too many kills in the early stages of the game, because Undying really falls off the face of the earth, and a high level puck could just tear through Shadow Demon and Undying very easily. So I think this matchup will come down to the mid lane action. If this is Barada vs Puck, I mean, I do slightly favor Barada, as Alliance going to get themselves an Alchemist, an interesting choice. This isn't really one of the prototypical Wisp carries, but he has a stun. I mean, he's very tanky, he's very annoying to deal with, and he is very survivable. So, and of course, he gets a lot of gold, and that's something that Chaos Knight can't simply do. So it does make sense if you look at it that way. It still doesn't really have the easy initiation that Reality Rift into Tether Stun does have, but Alchemist himself has a range stun where a lot of carries are lacking that factor. Quantic gonna get rid of the Enchantress, recognizing the line still need one more support. Gonna get rid of an AK hero since they know EGM is gonna be playing the Wisp. But Alliance, they still could go into a Chen choice, they could still go into another Trillion hero if they decide to go that route. I think Alliance will try to go for the Chen since Wisp is a support who does want experience and tries to get to that level 6 ASAP. And a defensive dueling of Alchemist's Wisp can still survive against the likes of Undying, Gyrocopter, and Shading since, again, this Tron actually doesn't drop any sort of slowing potential or killing potential outside of a disruption to missile combination. This Tron just really eats away at you, but Alchemist is tanky enough that can survive a lot of the damage that is thrown his way. It's getting rid of the Naga-san, a smart ban because another way to deal with Wisp relocating in is just to pop the Sleep and just be on your merry way. And of course Sleep also sets up the Undying Tombstone since the zombies do stack up and also can help set up a team fight that Gyrocopter will excel in. So a really smart ban by Alliance, as Quantic need either a safe laner if they're going to run an aggressive Trillion, if they don't put Baron in safe laner, or the mid laner. And I don't know, if they want to get the best matchup possible mid, they might be forced to put Baron in mid lane. But I'm sure S4 is very well versed in the Puck vs Baron matchup, as Warlock will be the choice for the side of Quantic. So they're going to look for as many teamfights as possible. I'm not too sure if it's the best option because Alcus and Wisp can stun Warlock in place for so long, and he saw in a previous game. I mean, Warlock without his ultimate just simply can't do too much. His Alliance will indeed get themselves a Chen, as I predicted. Pretty obvious when you looked at the lanes. But Warlock, really? I mean, 165 seconds beyond, Wisp can relocate it in whenever he wants. And, I mean, the stunning potential of Alliance can just keep Warlock locked down in place that he might not even get his ultimate off if push comes to shove. I guess what Quantic are relying is that Warlock will get enough farm that he can get tanky enough to survive a lot of ganks that Alliance will throw his way. And once Quantic starts the death ball push, it's going to be very difficult for Alliance to stop. But the best way to beat Warlock is just to split push, and Alliance have the split pushing heroes necessary to sort of draw out the game. So I'm liking Alliance draft a bit more. Quantic have some very tanky heroes, and Gyrocopter will likely rush that BKB. Still, it is going to hinge on the middle, as well as the Tron vs Tron matchup. As the offlane versus offlane matchup, it's going to be Sakshika versus Bulldog most likely, and you've got to favor the Barretter in the matchup against Nature's Prophet. Even though the Treants can drive Barretter back, I do slightly favor Barretter since if Treant gets a sufficient number of napalm stacks on him, he will most likely be screwed. But interesting, the players and teams. We're going to have Golblack playing the Undying. Keep in mind, it was Golblack who pioneered the Undying in an aggressive Tron scenario with Empire back in early or late 2012. Fonzie is going to be taking care of the Warlock in the lane. Was pulled a Sev Tango, so he can try to last it a lot easier against the likes of S4 in that middle lane matchup. Warlock versus Puck. Barretter is going to be played by Sakshika. Fucking Mad is going to be taking care of the Shadow Demon, and Silent, after his murderous rampage that he put on Alliance with the Weaver in the last game, is going to be playing a slightly more passive carry in the form of Gyrocopter, as EGM will spot out Disruption going to be used, as Tether will be back online for EGM, and he should be able to escape. And that stun actually stunned a lot of Quantic's heroes. Meanwhile, on the side of Alliance, we're going to have Puck being handled by S4, as he was not pulled anything. Aki is going to be playing the Chen, getting to get some Sentry Wards in case Quantic decide to block off his jungle with Observer Wards or Sentry Wards. He could get the D Wards off and clear up his camps. Alchemist is going to be played by Loda. EGM is going to be taking care of the Wisp, and Bulldog will be playing the Nature's Prophet. Again, the standard Nature's Prophet jungling offlane build. But this time, he's going to most likely continue to stay in lane since he will be only matched up against one hero in the form of Barretter. So Alliance, all they really need to do is survive until Chen gets enough levels, and then they could potentially go in for some very, very easy kills. And even at level 1, if Chen managed to get a good Troll creep or a good Centaur creep, Alliance have a lot of stun duration where they could lock Quantic in place even against defensive disruption being dropped. Meanwhile, in the middle lane, I'm not too sure who this favors. I gotta think it favors Puck slightly since he can push out the wave a lot easier and will probably have better rune control. But Warlock probably shouldn't be killed off by Puck since he's very tanky and has that heal online. Still, the simple matter of rune control should favor Puck, especially with the Chen on your side. You can use the creeps to scout out and potentially block the rune that is spawned on the opposite side of the map. Fonzie really needs to get off to a good start. You can see he's having a bit of problems, even though he started out with the Null Talisman. And Warlock's attack animation is pretty good, but S4 was able to get a superior creep block, and you can see the creeps are actually pushed all the way up to the high ground, and that is going to force Warlock to miss a couple more auto attacks than he would have liked to have had denied to him. And it seems like S4 just outplaying him. It's all about mind games in the middle lane, and S4 is coming out on top thus far. Meanwhile, Silent, as well as his Quantic teammates, not really able to apply that much pressure in the early going, but I won't really expect them to start turning on the pressure until they hit level 2, where at least they'll have that stun of the missile to start kicking into high gear the gang attempts onto Loda. All the while, however, Chen as well as Wisp are getting farmed up from pulls as well as jungling with that Chen. Chen's already level 2, has picked up that point of Test of Faith, and you can see that mass army of creeps gonna scare away Quantic as the Hellbear Smasher gonna smash and bash and will drive Silent away for now. Meanwhile, Loda gonna pick up a very, very aggressive build, not gonna farm up. He recognizes he will get his farm in the mid game once he is able to survive the early game by just getting this levels into stun as well as levels into acid spray, where the minus armor could do quite a bit, especially in conjunction with the physical attacks that Chen creeps can do. Meanwhile, on the bottom lane, Sakshika versus the Nature's Prophet. Yeah, Barrier is coming out ahead. Nature's Prophet just managed to pick up his magic stick, so his life will be slightly easier. As it looks like there will be engagement on the top lane. Silent was stunned up, and he's going to get tether stun as well as the fucking Mad going to take a lot of damage. Seems like the first blood will be secured by Loda, as fucking Mad will get killed off as well. So I'm not too sure how that engagement broke out. I just want to see really quickly how that happened exactly. Oh, Loda just charged up the stun, and Silent was just way too out in front. And that just spelled the end of this aggressive challenge pretty much entirely, because now Alliance is going to take a significant experience advantage, especially since Wisp was dual laning with the Ake in the jungle. You know, Warlock gonna guess the rune. We'll be able to pick up the double damage rune, but I'm not too sure if S4 really minds too much, as he's just going to continue far out. But this Trialion's presence has just gotten a lot less powerful, as now Alchemist is getting close to level 4. We'll be able to pick up boost speed so he can get out of more uncomfortable situations, and you can see Gyrocopter as well as Undying and Shout even just managed to hit level 2, and they're going to continue to be at severe experience advantage unless they manage to get a lot of kills. And I don't think Loda will give them an opportunity to get that, because he knows that the best way Quantic could get back into contention in this trial is just to get more kills. And you can see it's a battle of wards up against the likes of Chen and Wisp, who are pulling, and it seems like Alliance, with the creeps being on their side, winning this battle of wards ever so slightly. This Meow Gyrocopter will usher EGM away, but Alchemist is going to charge up stun once again. Sound will be the one who takes the stun. Disruption is going to be dropped on the Alchemist, but the Centaur was able to hold fucking Man in place, and fucking Man going to take a lot of edge. Wisp is able to pick up the kill, and it's going to be a 4-0 advantage for the likes of Alliance in this game, and this Triad has got to be abandoned. They can't really do anything contested anymore. They should just rotate down and just put Barret in the jungle, since it's not going to look prettier at this point. You know, S4 being pressured away slightly by Warlock. Warlock might have to pick up an early TP score and look to make an engagement happen on the top lane, but again, without too many slows to lock in Alliance in place, how much can the Warlock ultimate actually do against the likes of Wisp as well as Nature's Prophet can just teleport on out of there? You know, on the bottom lane, Bulldog gonna get himself boost speed, trying to escape any potential napalm ganks, and Bulldog's the only one on the side of Alliance who's really having a difficult time. Still, Barrier is going to have to do so much work in order to make up the deficit that his Trialion has put him in. And you can see he's picked up the core items. Will he go for a magic one as well? He might need to get a bit more insurance, as he's just going to Firefly, kill off these groups. He doesn't have a sufficient number of napalm stacks to kill off Bulldog, but he will be able to melt down these treants very effectively. Back in the lane, Puck yet to pick up his boost speed, as his farm has been slowed down. Warlock has been able to do a bit better job than I expected, using Fatal Bonds to great use, but he is running out of mana very, very quickly, and that means S4 can potentially get himself the next turn if he conserves his mana well. You know, on the top lane, Loda just continue to farm. You can see he's still maxing that Unstable Concoction as well as the Acid Spray, just trying to do as much damage as possible. And Wisp, I've got to imagine he's getting very close to level 6. You can see he's already level 4. Meanwhile, on the side of Quantic, their supports, or their Trons, not even anywhere close to picking up level 4. And once Alchemist hits level 6, he's going to be really, really difficult to kill. Funty getting himself put speed. We'll see what Funty goes for. Is he going to rush the Aghanims or is he going to rush the Mecha? I think he should try to rush the Aghanim since there isn't really anything that can stop the golems. There isn't a natural diffusal blade carrier, nor is there demonic purge to lock down the golems, so those golems could just run rampant over the side of Alliance. But Bulldog, if he really needs to, could potentially pick up a diffusal blade. You know, Bulldog, the 6-minute mark has occurred, and seems like Warlock was not lucky in terms of guessing the rune, but Bulldog will guard the haste rune on the bottom lane for S4, so good job by the puck as he picks up a haste rune, and he might look for engagement as he is going to circle around trying to catch out the Barretter, and Barretter just going to immediately teleport himself to the top lane. Actually decides to cancel the teleport, interesting enough. Knowing that he wouldn't have enough damage to secure the kills. Ake going to rotate his creeps around, has to do some high damaging creeps as the stun going to hit, and an AoE hits fucking mad. The tether, the orb's just going to wreak havoc on the side of Quantic, and Loda, he wants to go right back in there. As Funty going to teleport himself in, he's going to get stunned. Can't drop his ultimate just yet since the Dream Coil is going to stun up. He's going to drop the heal. He can't even drop his ultimate. The stun duration just locking him in place, and Alliance going to pick up an 8-0 advantage. Just a complete massacre for the side of Quantic. And Alliance taking firm control over this game. I'm not too sure why Warlock teleported himself in so late. He wanted to drop his ultimate, obviously, and try to defend the tower, but without any allies, I don't know how much usage the ultimate would have had, as Disruption as well as 3 stacks of poison going to be applied to Loda. He will take a chunk of damage, but I guess it's not going to be too much, since I think this is only level 1 of Shadow Poison. Well, level 2 Shadow Poison, but Loda has Chemical Rage to boost up his HP. He's already finished the treads, trying to give himself a bit of extra red as well as a bit of extra HP, and that will be very, very useful in terms of setting up those goals. Meanwhile, EGM getting very close to that level 6, already almost has the urn, and at that point Wisp can just gank freely and always will have enough mana to do just that. As for only on to not too much gold. It seems like he was outfarmed quite heavily as Gyrocopter is trying to zone out the side of Alliance. Barrett is here as well, and Quantic trying to free up some map control because they know Wisp is getting very close to level 6. They want to get as much map control as possible to try to limit Wisp's map presence at this point. And unfortunately for the side of Quantic, this tower is simply not falling fast enough. It seems like Alliance not in any hurry of defending this. And EGM not really at that level 6 point, so they can't actually defend this top tower. So Quantic will receive a bit of gold, and they will get themselves a bit of extra room on the map. And now they can potentially farm the jungle as well, so a good exchange by Quantic. They desperately need to make something happen, as every trade is going to turn to their advantage. It's still looking very, very grim for them at this stage, though. Meanwhile, Bulldog looks like he's going to work his way back towards Midas, as he picked up all his core dimes to survive up against the Barretter lane. And Barretter, the only person on the side of Quantic who has not died, is going to try to rush that dagger. Is he taking enough to survive initiation, though? That's my real pressing concern, because diving in against the likes of an Alchemist, against the likes of Chen Creeps and Wisp Orbs, and the likes of Puck, I don't know if that will be really the best option, as Alliance actually going to take a second tower in exchange. Meanwhile, Quantic just going to try to muscle down this tier 2 up on the top lane. It seems like they will be successful in doing so, but they're going to take a significant amount of damage on the middle tower all the same.
Dire's top tower is under attack. Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
And Alliance, they know that Quantic's trying to free up as much room as possible, but they themselves are creating more space on that by killing off these towers, because now Quantic, it's going to be so scary for them to actually farm their own jungle that I don't know if these tower trades actually helped Quantic in the end, even though they were able to secure tier 2. And meanwhile, Alliance have all grouped up on the bottom lane. They're going to apply so much pressure towards this tier 2 on the bottom lane, especially with the massive army of Chen Creeps and Treant Summons, that I don't think Quantic can actually defend this. I don't know if they have the levels necessary. Undying, not even at level 6, only level 4, and actually chose to put a second point to Soul Rip, so his Tombstone is going to be very, very ineffective. And Alchemist working his way towards the Shadow Blade, has not even picked up a single point in Greevel Screen, but is still very, very farmed, all things considered. Well, I mean, 26 CS not really that farmed, but the huge majority of his gold bounty is coming from those tower kills, which Alliance were able to kill off 3 towers in the span of Quantic killing off 2. And that is going to give S4 his treads. I'm gonna allow Ake to finish his mechanism, as we're really not farming that well. I mean, nobody on the sidelines is farming particularly well. Their killing potential, however, is just out of this world, as Warlock gonna be very close to securing a point booster, and looks like Quantic want to make engagement happen. They want to delay the dagger as Warlock ultimate will be popped, but S4, I think he should be able to escape. He's gonna orb on out of there, and there goes the surprise initiation. Is actually the golem gonna take a lot of damage from Wrath Nature as well as the tower, and heal. I don't know if that will be enough to fuel up its HP growth. And now Quantic, they just put themselves in grave danger, because now Wisp can pretty much relocate in for free and won't be troubled by a Warlock ultimate stopping his initiation. So Quantic really need to make something happen from this ultimate usage. They really need to push down the middle tower, but this army of Chant Creeps, double Shockwave as well as the Skeletons will just significantly slow down this tower push. And all the while, Loda as well as EGM just going to farm up, as now Loda has put some points of Guerrilla's Greed. They're going to initiate on the Barrett, who's so close to picking up his dagger, but it's going to be denied for now. Sakshka just running around in circles as Alchemist unable to charge up the stun. I think he's stunned himself. So I guess that vision just simply not enough. Sakshka, however, as Firefly run out, he doesn't have the dagger to escape. He could potentially still be in a trouble, but it seems like EGM as well as Loda just got themselves out of that very awkward situation. In the end goal was the same. They did slow down Barrett's Blink Dagger Rush, and it is going to be significantly slowed. It will be picked up nonetheless after this next creep wave. And we'll see if that can be enough to propel Quantic back into the game. Undying has just pointed his second point to Tombstone. And in terms of late game scenarios, I mean, Gyrocopter and Warlock are pretty strong late game heroes, but Nature's Prophet can just split push so effectively, and Gyrocopter really does not have that much farm at this stage of the game, only level 6. And now Shadowblade has been finished on the Alchemist, so now I can charge up the stun relatively unscathed unless there is detection. And Quantic, I don't know if they can actually defend this tier 1 without the Warlock ultimate, which Alliance know is going to be down for another minute. The Quantic, they're going to make their way into position. They have the Barrett Blink Dagger online, which is probably why they're attempting to defend this tower, as the Shadow Poison will be used. Ake could be in bit trouble, but just simply not enough control on Quantic's life, as there will be a blink out onto Lola, who is the tankiest hero. Lola going to take so much damage, will pop the solar pound himself. Dreamcoil going to catch everybody on the Quantic, as it seems like just mayhem is breaking out. Alliance just steamrolling Quantic in this gauge. They're just so tanky. Ake with the Hand of God as well as the Mechanism going to be able to pick up a huge number of kills. Bulldog picks up a double kill. Ake picks up a double kill as well. And Quantic are just crumbling. Just really not a good initiation, as without the Warlock ultimate they lost so much damage potential, but I guess they really didn't want to give up any more towers towards the side of Alliance without a fight. But now they've dug themselves into a deeper and deeper hole, and now Alliance is going to claim yet another tier 2, and there's only 1 hour tower remaining for Alliance before they can attempt to pressure the base. And this lineup that Alliance has can kill off Roshan very easily, especially with Alchemist getting so many early points in Acid Spray, and with the massive amount of silence that Alliance can have. Quantic are in very great danger at this point. I mean, they're getting shut out very, very hard, and the experience as well as Gold Graph really, really favoring Alliance tremendously at this early stage. I mean, the healing, the tank ability that Chen provided for the Alliance in that team fight was absolutely tremendous. He just gave him an instant boost of around 450 HP, which allowed them to completely take 0 losses of that engagement and allowed them to team wipe the side of Quantic. You know, in terms of levels, Shout even still level 5, as Loda going to charge up the stun. Wiss is going to teleport in as well, just trying to add a bit of extra gold, as San will get killed off. And Gyrocopter going to be denied farm for the next 20 seconds, wondering where he went wrong. And where he went wrong was pushing in against a Wisp without any map vision. But also Loda charging up the stun. I think it would have gotten the kill regardless. As there will be a smoke attempt. They are going to snag Wisp, but Wisp is going to be sent home. Can they actually have enough damage to kill off Wisp? He's going to get the Mechanism applied, and he's going to get sent home immediately. This is actually level 3 Test of Fate, so it doesn't take nearly much time to send people back home. And the Tombstone going to get killed off as well, so another bit of extra gold going to be granted to the side of Alliance. And now Alliance, they know Tombstone's down. Looks like they're going to rotate in for Roshan. And Quantic, they don't really have the wards that can spot out, but even if they did, I mean, they could potentially fight it. They have Warlock in the pit, which is very strong, especially Gyrocopter. But I don't know if Quantic actually know what Alliance are doing. They probably have a sneaking suspicion, but maybe they're just a bit too afraid after these past miserable team fights of actually re-engaging. Warlock only has a point booster, and it's so hard for Warlock to farm up since he is not a flash farmer. I mean, his only AoE spell to farm up is Fatal Bonds, which isn't really the most spectacular of creep clearing methods. And Alliance is going to clear up Roshan. Shadowblade's almost finished on the Ninja Spot of Wisp, getting very close to picking up a Ghost Scepter or whatever he wants. Loda going to have another item shipped towards him. That will likely be, it's going to be a plate mail, as he's going to try to make his way towards an AC. Ake, Arcane Boots, might even start toying with the idea of going for the Aghanim Scepter. And you can see Quantic, they're so scared because they don't know where anybody inside of Alliance is. I mean, they just realized because of this ward. They still can't farm up because Alliance are just all up in their grill in the jungle. And now S4, I think he has a dagger. He does, as he has a haste rune as well, so that could set up a terrifying initiation for Alliance. And Quantic, are they going to defend? This Dream Coil will catch two heroes on the side of Quantic. Funzy being stunned up, is still silenced up. He's going to get stunned up. He can't drop the ultimate at all. Silent going to get stunned, but Loda just so tanky as Loda's going to be dragged right into the midst of Quantic's space. But the Flaming going to usher Alliance. They're just so tanky. And man, I just really feel bad for Warlocks in these tournaments. They just can't get the stuns off. And that is the problem, as the middle tower will fall. Warlock will respond relatively soon. We'll see if Alliance decides to continue for another assault. They're going to have a lot of skeletons, and they're going to be healed up to full HP, so it looks like they are intent on continuing the assault. Undying will have his tombstone up relatively soon, and Warlock will have his ultimate, so Alliance is going to have to watch out, but the Orbit's going to fly through. S4 actually initiated. Defensive disruption will be used as S4 going to get stunned by the Golem. S4 is going to be in a lot of trouble, but Alchemist is able to kill fucking Mad Barrett, trying to flow overhead, trying to get at least one kill, but Undying just can't simply do enough. Gyrocopter going to buy back 18-0 in favor of Alliance. Barrett just simply can't do enough. This is just, I mean, this is rated R for violence and mature audiences, as Alliance gonna clean up house. GG, well played. It's called by Quantic, 22-0. Oh my god, that was an absolute steamroll.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack
By Alliance, as they did not give up any kills. Fucking Mad just gonna charge ahead, and Alliance defend their Dreamhack Winter title by taking the Dreamhack Summer. Have just now won 3 of their past 4 lands. G1 Land Finals, Dreamhack Summer, and the Starladder Season 6 Finals, I think. Or was it Season 5? I'm not too sure. But Alliance definitely cementing themselves as the best team in the West, and perhaps even the best team in the world after dominating China in Shanghai. And Alliance definitely looking on top of their game, and they're definitely the favorite for the West going into TI3. You know, Quantic put on a hell of a performance, but unfortunately, just simply not enough in this last game. I don't know where they went wrong. I mean, I guess it was the lanes. The lanes just didn't do anything, and I thought the lack of stuns really contributed to Quantic because, I mean, you have nothing to lock Wisp and Puck in place, and they can just run rampant. So I think in all 3 games, it was just it was just being outdrafted. But Alliance just played phenomenally well. Just really did not make a mistake in the last game, and it showed as they put on a dominating performance. So hopefully you enjoyed this DreamHack Summer presentation by B-Ball. Please follow me on Facebook, Twitter, bball773. Subscribe to me on YouTube. I'll be back with more games relatively soon. Hopefully some more Dota 1 games and some other projects as I'm looking to branch out. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Peace.